about Aidan Gillen, who gets released from prison to look after his young niece, and he decides the best course of action is to take her to the Midlands, to get her away from Dublin, get her away from distraction. The Midlands is where I'm from as well, so I guess the idea was for me to make a film set somewhere I know very well. So Midlands is a very particular atmosphere and it looks a particular way. And I kind of thought the idea of Aidan Gillen, a young Dublin kid in the Midlands, would be an interesting setup for a film. And then they kind of meet a couple of characters in the caravan park where they're staying, and they kind of become this kind of improvised family. Aidan is amazing, everyone kind of knows that, and he's particularly good in this, but Lauren was a real find. She's been nominated for the Bingham Ray New Talent Award. Like, we're kind of really delighted now because she's getting recognition kind of everywhere she goes, like, because she's so bloody good. You know, young actors have a particular quality. Kids are very unaffected and can be very spontaneous and very natural, and Aidan is also very spontaneous. So seeing the two of those guys bounce off each other, and they went off script as well, like sometimes, which is really exciting. They would always, like, you know, return to the script, but sometimes they would like make a really interesting detour. It's like there was definitely one part of how the film came to be, was that I bumped into his mother after a premiere. This particular film that we were coming out of was called Treacle Jr., and Aidan plays quite a jovial character, always smiling, always laughing, real sense of humour, and his mother was just like delighted that he was being nice on screen, and she was like, oh, I'm so sick when he's a bad guy, or he's spends a lot of time because he's really good at being evil on screen. You know, she just mentioned, I'd love to see him do more comedy, he's really good at comedy. So I kind of took that very literally and kind of started writing something where he could be a little bit lighter. It's definitely instrumental about me like thinking about Aidan in a different way, because as soon as I'd seen Aidan in that film and she mentioned it, it was written specifically for Aidan, so I wrote it with Aidan in my head and it was never sent to anyone else. You know, it was emailed to him and he got back 2 hours later and said yes. Very unusual chain of events. I mean, probably will never happen again, but you get your first choice within 2 hours, like.
that was